Yo, what's happening, everybody? Today is June 7th, 2015, Sunday. It's next to last go here in Nashville. So that kind of sucks. Today we're going to be going with a few things. Today's razor is going to be above the tie R2 on a Kronos handle. The blade, and actually I think I'm going to change it because my fingers ran across the edge. So I'm not going to take any chances and I'm just going to bend this joint. Today's blade actually is going to be, I haven't used one of these in ages. Polsilver Super Iridium. Not to be confused with the polsilver that I used the other day that kind of carved up my neck pretty decent. These wax dots, man, they're not as bad as the dots on the silver blues, but they're pretty annoying. And actually, I was reading somewhere where people are having trouble loading above the tie razors with blades, and I don't understand how anybody can have a problem, but if you load them upside down like this and then screw the handle in like that, pretty much even more guaranteed to not mess it up. Although again, I don't know how anybody can get it wrong in the first place. That's amateur hour. Come on, guys. Today's soap in here is some green Irish tweed, some Creed green Irish tweed, and the brush is going to be something new. This is going to be the first time that I've used it on Sunday. And this is absolutely going to be a Sunday brush, but it's really nice. I used it for the first time the other day on Thursday, and it still smells like the Rome that I used it with. But this is a Morrison Fondren 3XL in finest, and it is really, really, really good. This is a great little brush. Well, it's not little. It's about a 30 millimeter knot, but it's a great brush. It is absolutely soapicidal. This thing, you have to put a lot of soap. You have to put a lot of soap on this joint to get some lather out of it. So, and it's been quite some time since I've used this one. This is not one of the soaps that made it with me to, or that I brought, I should say, to Knoxville. So this is going to be nice. It's been ages since I've used this thing. Green Irish Tweed is my, that's the cologne that I use pretty much on a daily basis. It's my regular wear. Get some of this stuff off of here because this is good stuff. And I'm pretty sure that this actually is a veggie soap. I don't think there's any tallow, but I read somewhere that there is lanolin in it, that strikes me a little weird that it's a veggie soap, but it has lanolin in it. And again, this is just conjecture on my part. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that it is a veggie soap. Anyway, green Irish tweed. It's been quite some time. So anyway, yeah, I'm in Nashville. This is, I think I mentioned it earlier, but this is the next to last go here, and that really sucks. That's got me bumming pretty heavy. Whatever. I guess I just kind of shouldn't think about it, but I can't help it. Anyway, let's talk about this brush. I have another Morrison. This one actually, I'll talk about how this brush came to, how I came to own this brush. Someone on one of the forums sent me a private message asking me about my butterscotch 2XL with blonde hair, blonde badger rather than finest like this one is. Completely unsolicited PM from the guy, but he offered me this brush for my 2XL blonde, and thought about it for a second, and I was like, damn. Now here's the thing, is that those 2XLs, the handles are really, really small. And that's something that I've come to, I guess I've come to discover that I really like gigantic handles on brushes. Like this is not a gigantic handle, but it's a good size. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a good size. It's a good size handle. So thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, yeah, man, we'll do it. So I traded him, and I sent him the blonde butterscotch blondie, and yeah, he seems to be happy with it, and I'm really happy with this brush. This brush is incredible. If you've never used a brush with Morrison, or a Morrison 400 brush in finest, it's very good hair. It is two-band, as you saw, so it does have a good amount of backbone, and the density, the knot density on the brushes is good. And this soap smells good. Yeah, the knot density is very good. Now I will say, and you know, I was upfront with the guy when I talked to him before we finalized the deal. I told him that the density on that 2XL was not super ultra high, but as a result, it wasn't so cruel to your soap supply, and when you did load enough lather on it, it didn't have much of a problem releasing the lather. If you've never used a super high density brush, those are the two pitfalls, you know, of using a brush with a knot that is just insanely dense, is that, you know, you may have a problem getting the brush to release the lather that it's made. But on the other hand, it feels really nice, you know, when you're actually lathering your soap. Anyway, so, you know, I told the guy, I sent him pictures and everything, and he was with it. So, you know, we sent the brushes off, got that one, and really happy with it. It's a very nice brush. The knot, I've got another Morrison 402 XL. Excuse me, another Morrison 400 brush. It's a 2XL, and it's in finest as well, but it actually is more densely packed than this one. And it is like silly dense. It's dense to the point where I don't really know if I want to keep it. So I'm probably, where I may end up using it as trade bait for someone. I would love to get one of those 3XLs in blonde. So if anybody wants to make that trade, feel free. Holla at a Rican. But that 2XL actually is with a friend right now, letting him borrow it. He's got a business trip this week. And the handle, if you're interested, it's Purple Haze. Again, if you're interested, any like preliminary interest or whatever, shoot me a message. I'll send you pictures, etc. Blah blah blah. Also, I wouldn't mind a Morrison 400 blonde with a polo handle. That would be nice too. Again, just make sure that you understand that you would be getting a brush with an insanely dense knot. So yeah, I've been here in Nashville since like Friday evening or so. Been doing a lot of getting stuff out of here, and next weekend actually is going to be the final push as far as that's concerned, because the closing is set for the 18th, and since I don't live in Nashville anymore, the last opportunity that I'll have to be here in the unit prior to the closing is next weekend. So got to make sure that everything's out. At this point, the only things that are left are the big things: the sofa, my bed, like an entertainment sort of cabinet thing in the living room, my computer desk, my computer chair, which I'm actually going to I'm going to take that over to the storage unit today actually, And dishes, I gotta get dishes too, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be doing both of those today. This blade is a lot nicer than I remember them being in this razor. Oh. And of course, like a proper dummy, I forgot my feather razor for my cheeks. So I'm gonna have to make do with the DE. That sounded very bratty, but it wasn't meant to come off that way. Man, this stuff smells so good. I know that a lot of times people are really quick to diss green Irish tweed, but everybody has opinions, you know? There's going to be the inevitable comparison to, I have an ingrown hair back here and it's really making my life miserable. Anyway, green Irish tweed is going to always get the comparison to cool water. And I can understand why people would say that. They are similar. But to me, green Irish tweed smells like cool water grew up, got a good job, actually grew up, went to finishing school, and did that whole thing. This is a much quieter shave than normal, and I do apologize, but I don't really have a ton of good news to talk about. When I got in on Friday, actually, I should say, I don't know why I started with that, but yesterday on Saturday, a guy called DJ Dan played here in Nashville. That's an old school American name. I haven't heard that name in quite some time. He's a house DJ. I don't remember where he's from. But I heard it was good. So I suppose I missed out. And this stuff is a lot slicker than I remember it. Wow. Anyway, DJ Dan played here last night in Nashville. And I wasn't, like, you know, back in the 90s, DJ Dan wasn't one of my guys. So I never really paid attention to him. I don't know what kind of stuff he played, like what kind of house. But anyway, I heard he ripped it last night. Which is cool, because I'm glad that people aren't coming here and just dialing it in, you know? A lot of times performers, whether they're singers or bands or a DJ or somebody doing like a live PA where they actually make the music in front of you rather than you know, play like records. If they're not in a big city, then they'll phone it in, you know. But I'm glad to hear that that's not happening in Nashville. Because again, well, unless you're talking about Derek Carter, in which case that guy just seems to dial it in no matter where he's playing, unless he's playing at the Smart Bar in Chicago. I'm gonna try and against the grain here. I think that may be a little bit too brave of a move, but I got myself on the actual lip meat again. Cool. Yeah, so they're not dialing it in just because they're in Nashville, which, you know, as much as I love this place, not everybody else sees it the way I do. So that's cool that people are coming here and actually respecting the crowd enough to actually give them a proper performance. Speaking of people coming to play, Josh Wink is playing in Knoxville on the 17th of July, and that's a little difficult for me to get my head around, and this is very comfortable here. Wow. I'm a little impressed with the performance of this soap. I think I put a little bit too much water on the end of the brush here. Oh well, that's right. This is the last bit anyway. If you guys want to get a good brush, be on the lookout for a Morrison Forging. They're difficult to get new because the guy that actually makes the brushes, Lee Sabini, is a little hard to get in touch with, to say the least. And that presents two problems. That, you know, it's tough to get them new because he's tough to get a hold of, but, you know, people know about the quality of these brushes, so what was that indecision there? That was weird. People know about the quality of these things, so they sell them, and I think they're selling them for like a little higher than they should. But, you know, free market, blah, 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 blah. Oh, and getting back, since I'm talking about Morrison Forging brushes, that Purple Haze 2XL that I have, it is so over the top densely packed. I've never had a loaded brush like that. I used it with Barrister Man Seville the other day, and I estimate that I had to use, I don't know, 2% of what was in the jar to get a good load on the brush, which is a little over the top. That's a lot of the tub to use for one lather. I think this is pretty much it right here. Yeah, that is it. So let's do this. Sad, man. Next weekend is going to be heavy. It's going to be very emotional. You know, with this place and everything. But you never know what happens in the future, you know? I absolutely intend at some point to get back to the financial position that I used to be in. And that's going to be good times when I get back there. It's going to be good times getting there too. The residual slickness on the soap is pretty good, and the post shave is not bad at all, particularly for a soap that I don't think is tallow based. Aftershave, something actually a little special that was given to me by Ian, Ragged Claws, from the subreddit. He went to the meetup at Magrid Razors in Adrian, Michigan, about an hour southwest of the Detroit. And he's not a splash guy. And he kept me in mind when he went there because there was a special splash that was made by Barrister and Man for the attendees of that meetup. And Ian was very gracious and very cool. And again, he kept me in mind. And he actually gave me his bottle of this. This is Barrister and Man Awesome. Again, this is the splash that was made for the meetup at Magrid Razors. I haven't even gotten to use it yet. This is going to be the first go with it, but it says it has chamomile and calendula. So this is going to be the first whiff here, or second whiff. It's good. It's very. You know what? I'm not even gonna try to explain what it smells like to you guys, but it is good. Oh, that smells really nice. Wow. It smells almost like tea to me, and I guess that's the chamomile talking. Seems how there is chamomile tea. It also smells. I get honey from it as well. Man, that's really nice. Will, you should make more of this stuff. That's really nice. Almost something boozy. Not quite like whiskey. I guess a good, like, heavy beer, maybe. Because you know how some beer can smell a little boozy. That's very nice. Very nice indeed. Well done, Will. Alright, so that's it for today. I don't know if I'm going to do one next week. Like I said, next week's going to be really heavy. This place was like the second lifelong dream that I ever accomplished in, you know, getting this place. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I don't know if I'll be able to hold it together to put one of these together next week, but we'll see. Anyways, hope you guys have a good day. I hope you've had a good weekend. If for some reason you are, well, never mind, that's going to be too late by the time this is uploaded. Have a good weekend, have a good week, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.